Hey, welcome back to Chelsea Talks. I'm your host, Charlotte, and I'm here with my co-host
Malia.
and our guest.
Ray Haley.
Okay, thank you for being here and talking to us. Can you start with some background? Or-
Sure. I eighth grade science. I have been teaching at Chelsea for 24 years. Um, Married, have four grown children.
How old are your kids?
Uh, the oldest is my daughter, and she is 32. She lives in Dallas. And then I have a son, Micah, that's 28, and then a son, Josiah, who is 27, and then my youngest son, Nathaniel, is 25.
Ooh, what college did you go to?
UAB.
Did you like it?
Yeah, when I went to UAB, which was many years ago, it wasn't nearly as nice as it is now. Now they have more of a campus and people living on campus. When I went to UAB, there were very few dorms, and so I lived at home while I went to UAB.
What major did you what did you major in to become a science teacher?
I majored in biology, so yeah, that got me into teaching eighth grade science.
Did you have any jobs before science teacher?
When I was in school at UAB, I worked part-time, and I did lots of different things. I worked at Winn-Dixie for a little while. I worked as a janitor for a while. I worked in Vestavia. They have a, sort of like Chelsea has a parks area, and so I worked for their park department, keeping the fields set up and all that stuff, so lots of different things.
What made you want to become a science teacher?
You know, when I started at UAB, education was not my major. But the more I started taking classes, I realized that I did enjoy teaching and being around younger people. And I really enjoyed science. So both of those things work together.
Have you coached anything or?
I used to be an assistant wrestling coach here. I did that for about 10 years. And I enjoyed it. I did wrestling when I was in high school. So,
Did you do any more sports besides wrestling?
well, only in high school did I do wrestling, but in middle school I played football. I was not very good at it, but so we didn't do that in high school.
Did you teach anywhere before Chelsea?
Yeah, I taught 10 years at a school in Midfield called Rutledge, another middle school. And then for a couple years, I taught at an elementary school called Green Valley Elementary School.
If you could do any sports in the Olympics, what sport would you do?
Wrestling. I already know how to do that.
Do you like watching any sports?
I'm from the South, so obviously I like college football. Enjoy that. I watch a little bit of pro sports. Not much of a basketball watcher, and a little bit of baseball.
What's your favorite college football team?
Oh, it's Alabama.
Mine too.
Same.
But my wife graduated from Auburn, so I have to kind of root for them too, except when they're playing Alabama.
What's your favorite childhood TV show?
There was a show called Gilligan's Island, which was really goofy, and you look back at it now and the way that it was done, and you're thinking, well, this is a terrible show. But, back then we had 3 channels, and it came on every afternoon, so I can remember coming home from school and sitting down watching it just about every day.
Mine's a SpongeBob.
I like Bluey. Do you like sweet or salty food?
Probably more salty. I'm a big chips. Just regular chips. I don't need any flavor or anything on them. But I like sweets. And if I had to choose, probably Snickers, chocolate. I'm not a sour person, but chocolate stuff, I like that. But yeah, if you made me choose, just potato chips.
Do you like spicy food?
Not really. When my wife fixes like Mexican for the family, She makes mine a little bit different. I can't handle much spicy food at all. I'm a wimp.
What's your favorite candy?
Probably, well, two things. Chocolate Snickers, like that a lot. But I also like Starburst jelly beans. So Starburst okay, but the jelly beans, they're awesome. Except you can't always find them unless it's around Easter time. So sometimes I have to stack up on during Easter.
My dad does that too.
Yeah.
I can't eat those. If you could be any superhero, what would you be?
Oh, I would be Superman because flying is the best thing ever. So just the ability to fly.
What about a villain?
Ooh, let's see. I guess maybe Thanos because he was so powerful.
Yeah, he could snap a finger.
Yeah.
I don't know like any villains.
Me either.
Well, I had to think for a little bit.
I'll be like the Joker or something, or like Harley Quinn. But like a superhero, I'll probably, I don't know.
Yeah,
So
I don't know either.
It's more like men. So like, but if I was a boy, probably like Spider-Man.
Now, Spider-Man was my favorite cartoon growing up. I loved Spider-Man.
What do you want to be remembered for at Chelsea Middle School besides being a science teacher?
Oh, good question. I think probably, I think this is what most teachers want to be remembered for, that, you truly did love what you did because you loved the students that you had. I mean, I teach science, but really, we say it all the time, we teach students. And so, yeah, if I can, just have the smallest little influence, not so much in science, but just maybe in the way that you live your life later on, that would be a great thing.
So
Yes,
like,
sir.
you just want to be an important influence.
Maybe even just a little bit of an influence. I'll take that.
Do you have any pets?
Yeah.
We do. We have a little Boykin Spaniel. There aren't many Boykin Spaniels around. So she's really dark and small. Her name is Millie, and she's about 4 years old. So, and before her, we had another Boykin. Her name was Abby, and she lived to be about 13 years old. So
I have 2 dogs. One's a golden retriever, but she's like getting really old. And then we have a new mini golden doodle.
oh, very good.
I don't have any pets. My dad do, but I don't.
Do you want a pet?
I do. I want a Yorkie.
Oh, yeah. My brother-in-law, they have 2 Yorkies.
Oh.
So.
Okay, if you were like a color, how would you? What color do you think describes you the most?
Oh, well, my favorite color is yellow, which I guess a little different. So I guess yellow means happy. I hope I'm happy most of the time. I am. I think I am happy most of the time.
You are.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, maybe yellow.
What about you, Charlotte?
I don't know. That's like. I don't know.
Mine would be pink.
But
For
why?
now. Because like, I'm actually like, it's like pink is actually a calm color. Like if you, some people think it's too girly, but like boys like pink. I'm not gonna say no names, but boys like pink.
No.
So it's like,
Pink's okay with guys.
yeah. So it's like it's calm and like joy, and it's bright. Well, not bright, but bright. But you know, so yeah. I'm calm now. Like, So you still can't think? I can
don't
see you like
know.
as a blue.
But why?
You're quiet. And blue is like a quiet, like, color. Like, it's something that you go to sleep. Like if you got LED lights, your room got to be blue to go to sleep. Would you rather be a math teacher?
To be honest, math is my least favorite subject because I'm not very good at it. It does not come naturally.
I don't
So-
like science.
No, well, my last math class in college was a great day. Because I knew this is, never do math again. I enjoy history a lot. So I love learning about the past. And, yeah, so
It's too much.
Yeah, it's like a lot to remember.
it is.
The maps
Oh.
are like crazy. What projects have y'all did recently?
Well, this year's a little different because we don't have our Amsty kits like we normally do. So we're having to kind of play it by ear. But I'll just tell you right now, we're doing a lab where we're learning, about pendulums and how they swing and trying to figure out, if you change how the mass at the bottom or you change the length of the string, which one determines whether it changes the time that it swings. So most people think, well, if you change the mass, make it heavier. It's not true.
Yes, sir.
Not true.
Do you like teaching 6th and 8th grade science?
I love teaching 8th grade science. I'm just going to be honest. 6th grade is a challenge for me. And it's just because they're 6th graders, and I taught 6th graders about 20 years ago. And so just learning, I know they're different, but getting back to teaching them differently. It's been a challenge for me this year, but I'm getting better at it. So
Do you have to like talk to them differently?
I do. They, 8th graders, I can tell them to do something, and for the most part, they'll do that. Well, 6th graders are just, again, they're not as mature. They're 6th graders. And so I have to be more specific with what I want them to do and give them very specific details, and I can't give them much freedom. It's like, okay, do this one thing. So, but that's okay.
So it's like a big adjustment to just like trying to teach them because like they're coming out of elementary school.
It is. And it would be different if, I'd been teaching 6th grade, because you just do teach them different, because they're not as mature. And they haven't, like I said, they just came out of elementary school, had lots of helps from their teacher, doing lots and lots of things. And with 8th graders, I don't have to give them as much attention. They can figure out a lot of things on their own, which is what I expect them to do, especially teaching advanced classes. So yeah, just reminding myself, oh, wait a minute, no, they can't do that yet. They haven't been taught how to do that yet. So yeah, that's, again, I'm learning still.
Is advanced science hard?
Here's the biggest difference. Advanced science is where, like when we do our labs, and teacher says, okay, do this, do this, do this, do this, and then do the lab. Well, in advanced science classes, I don't give them as much information. I said, okay, here's your question. All right, here's what we're trying to figure out. Here's the materials. All right, figure it out. You go figure it out and then come tell me, okay, this is what we think we're going to do. With my regular classes, I tend to give them a little more information. So again, scientists shouldn't be about me telling you what to do. It should be it's supposed to be you exploring, figuring it out on your own. So, and that's why I love science, love teaching it. Because it's really cool when someone says, oh, that's what we're supposed to do. That's exactly right. That's what I wanted you to know.
Oh, what's your favorite season?
I love the fall. And I know we said, well, yeah, but you got to come back to school in the fall. You just had summer. But, summer in Alabama is so hot. It's so miserable. And I love when the seasons change and it starts getting cool. And listen, I still enjoy teaching. Been doing it a long time, and I still enjoy coming back to school in the fall. And, it's football season, so you got to enjoy that. But, yeah, I do enjoy the fall.
We actually had a great season in 8th grade.
Uh,
7th
Yeah,
grade too,
for
but
sure.
8th grade had a great season.
Let me tell you, I've been here a long time, and that was probably the best football team that I can remember ever coming through Chelsea. They were great.
I hope they're good next year. I think everybody did good because like the year before, none of us was that good, and then this year,
Well, last year, the
everybody.
7th grade,
yeah, I don't know, like some with our class of 2029, like they're actually good. They've always been good ever since I came to Chelsea, but like the upper classes and the ones that's below us, it's like they don't do good. And then when they came here, it was like, okay, y'all did good. And then the ones that went to high school, they made the high school better. So it was crazy.
Do you have any hobbies?
I enjoy, I don't hunt or fish. I'm not a golfer. But I do like working outside, just in the yard. My wife likes planting flowers and stuff like that. So if I had a hobby, having 4 kids growing up, didn't really have a whole lot of time for hobbies. But if I did, it would just be working outside.
Yeah, my dad likes that too.
My hobby is sleeping.
Well, no. I could do that too.
I could not get up for anything. Even when it snowed, I stayed in the bed. My mom was like, she wanted to drag me out the bed. I was like, no, I'm not getting up. And I just had to go outside when the snow was gone and play in the ice.
Did you go
I didn't-
outside?
I did. I took the dog out 2 times, and it's like, because really, I ain't like watching it, and I think it's pretty, but I don't really like getting out in it anymore. So I lived, when I was younger, my family moved around a good bit, and so I lived in New York and Massachusetts for a while, and so I got to see lots of snow. And even as a kid back then, you got tired of it. After a while, you got tired of it.
Did your dog like the snow?
She did. That's the first time she had seen any snow. And so you never know how they're going to act. But she acted like it wasn't even anything. She just went and ran around and
Yeah, my dogs loved it.
yeah, she seemed to enjoy it.
I don't know about my dad dog. His dog goes crazy about anything. He hear you knocking at the door, he'll go crazy. If he knows he's like, if you're scared of him, he's like this small. And if he's like a little chihuahua, but he's not. And if he knows you're scared of him, like my brother, like he would literally chase him around the house. My brother would jump on the couch. The dog would jump on the couch with him. And it was just too much.
What kind of
But
dog is he?
I don't know.
He's just a mixed breed.
Yes.
All right.
What does a typical day look like for you?
Well, I try to get up a little bit earlier, so, between 5:30 and 6. And not a breakfast eater, so I don't really
Neither.
eat breakfast. Try to get to school a little bit early. There's not many people here yet, and so I don't get interrupted trying to get some things done in the morning. And then, going through your day, what you normally do. I try when school is over to stay and get as much of my school stuff done at school, because once I get home, I may take lots of things, like y'all, you take things home, but you don't always do those things you take home.
Yeah, go to sleep.
So there's things I need to do, but once I hit the house, it's like, I
always
rarely
feel
get
like
it.
I'm ready to go and do it, and then I don't.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm gonna do this at home,
I
and then I go
know.
home, and then I go to sleep, and then the next day I'm like, oh, I was supposed to do that.
Too many distractions, too many fun things to do at the house.
Yeah.
So,
Like sleep.
quick.
I don't know. It's like school is a job. Like the students, this is a job because like for us, it's like an 8-hour job. We come to school, we do work, like basically like y'all, and then we go home. We're tired, like old people. Then
That's
we go
it.
to sleep.
Yeah, all right.
Thank you.
Thanks
for coming.
again for coming and talking to us.
Sure.
Stay tuned for the next one.
Oh.